Buy it now versus eBay auctions, the age-old debate. I think it's super important to know the pros and cons of both, how each of them affects profit and cash flow in your sports card business. So today I'm gonna go into an in-depth review of consignment auctions. I'm gonna go through two different consignment auctions that I did with Probstein. I'm gonna go through all the financials, opening the books here. Gonna give you my rationale behind the cards I auctioned off, some that I maybe regret doing that with, and then we'll go through the financials. So a couple things that I want to touch on. With Probstein auctions, they charge a 15% fee if your card sells for less than $100, which most of these cards in these submissions fall into that category. But that is on the sale price, doesn't include shipping or tax. With my eBay store, I get charged a 12.35% fee. So there is a bit of a difference there that wasn't really accounted for in the analysis, but I'm basically going to just cancel that out because of the work I save by sending them to Probstein, and also the fact that with my eBay store, that fee is applied to taxes and shipping as well, whereas the Probstein fee is not. So just something to keep in mind. Another quick announcement, I'm going live next Tuesday, April 1st, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Going to be showing you my eBay buying process. Also going to try to show you my Facebook buying process, how I'm still getting tons of raw cards that are gradable to get PSA 10s. So make sure to stay tuned and join that if you can. So as I mentioned, I have two different shipments that I sent off to Probstein. I'm going to go through the cards for the first one, and then we'll do the financials, and then we'll do the cards for the second one and the financials of that. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, let's just go through these one by one. I'll share my thought process with you guys behind each of these cards, why I'm sending it off to consignment. Maybe you guys can get some ideas and some concepts on at least my process and why I prefer to do certain things at consignment versus my own eBay store. So starting off here, we got a couple silver prism variations. They're not gradable, and I find the easiest thing to do with my raw cards that aren't gradable, especially when they're over $20 or so, is to send them off to consignment. I will sometimes auction them off myself, but usually I get better auction prices sending them to consignment, and so that's why I do that. For anything less than $20, I'll auction on my own eBay because consigners don't often use the eBay standard envelope shipping, so I like to take advantage of that. And a lot of consigners charge a fee if your card sells for like less than $10 or whatever. This Ellie out of 125, same thing. It's a raw reject. It's pretty clean, just a little off-centered. So it's been sitting on my eBay store for a while. Buy it now, and I know this one will fetch a better price at auction. I waited till now because baseball was kind of slow in November and December. Now it's heating back up. A couple raw Ohtani rookies. These always do better for me at consignment versus auctioning them off on my own eBay, and I have several duplicates of these. Normally I don't send two of one card to consignment in one order, but I have so many of these that I need to just start getting rid of them. Cheap slab, I got this in a big Jackson Churio collection that I bought. I have practically nothing into it, so just want to move it, get the cash out of it, and move on. There's an Ohtani slab that has been sitting for a while out of 50. It's like a non-rookie, lower grade, so a lot of this stuff will get more exposure on Probstein versus my own personal eBay. And just again, want to move out of it, get the cash, and move on. More lower grade stuff. This is a card I have duplicates of, so send it off to Probstein. Again, I've been waiting on some of the baseball stuff, but now I feel like I can get a little bit more out of it. Cheap slabs tend to auction better with Probstein versus myself. So some LeBron rookies. So I graded practically, ignore the stickers, those are from a card show. I graded practically the full set of each of these rookie box sets, and did really well on them. But I actually just had some auctions end at Probstein yesterday. I had two of these rookies, other cards from the sets, and they sold for both over double what I had them listed on as buy it now on my own eBay for months. So gonna take the chance and send a couple more of them off, just the lower grade ones for now, and see if we can keep that ball rolling. This will turn out to be a really, really solid investment for me if I can keep these sale prices up the way the ones sold last night. So rookies of star players almost always will auction better in consignment versus your own eBay store, at least versus my own eBay store. I generally recommend for all-time players where the pop reports aren't drastically going up by the day, that you do go with the buy it now option and just wait for the right buyer. But I have so many of these, want some cash to turn into the next thing, so I'm okay to send some of them off. I have a bunch of these as well. I'm selling one at a time on my eBay store for like 30 bucks. They'll sell pretty sporadically, but I have probably like 5 or 6 more of these, so I've just been throwing one in with each order. Oftentimes they go for actually over what I have mine listed at as the buy it now on my own store. The same idea here, a card that I've had a lot of duplicates of. Just want to move move it quickly, keep the cash flow going. And then lastly is another example of that. So a lot of lower grade stuff that I'm not super getting top value out of, but cards that I'm confident that I'll get more value out of if I submit them through consignment versus my own eBay store. So the name of the game with consigning is really cash flow. I mean, if I had the cash to just let them sit and get the top dollar out of each one of them, I would do that. Obviously with ultra modern cards, especially this year and last year, you don't want to let things sit because the value is going to tank as you're holding it. But in general, that's part of the reason why I use consignment as part of my model. So yeah, we'll go ahead and submit these, and then we'll wait till they sell, and we'll cut to the results of that.
Okay, let's go ahead and run through this first set of sales. I imported them in bulk into the website I use for data tracking. I built this myself to save time and keep myself organized. If you want to check it out, link in the description below. We're just going to go through these sales. Some good and mostly bad, and some average. The Otani Father's Day out of 50 PSA 9 sold for $65.44. So we're going to be looking at the net column here. It's the same for this instance, but $65.44, really bad. As I thought about it more, this was more of a niche card, non-rookie, not from the most recent year, from a couple years back. Definitely would take the right buyer to get the price I wanted out of it. So this is one in hindsight I should have held on to. The Roman Anthony Lunar Glow PSA 9, actually a pretty good sale on this. It was about $40 gross, netted $34. Actually profited from this even after the grading fee and a PSA 9. So I'm actually very happy with this sale. I had this sitting up on my eBay store for probably $29.99 for months. And so whenever we can beat that, always really good. Same with the Bowman here, Bowman base rookie Otani. They misspelled his name, but didn't matter. Basically doubled my money on this one, sold for $32 after fees and everything. So another poor sale here, the Ellie out of 125. Yeah, I only got 28 net out of it. Could have waited a little bit longer maybe to auction that one off, but I just wanted to be done with it. But for this one was extremely off-centered, so I assume that played a part into why it sold for lower. I bought it in a lot, a big baseball lot a couple months back, and I just kind of didn't look too closely at the pictures, so unfortunately it wasn't gradable due to the centering. LeBron, I had a few LeBron rookies that I graded from the box set. Pretty average here. I think it sold for about 32, and then 27.20 net. I had it up for $29.99 for a while, so again it beat out my buy it now sale. Made a little bit of profit on it, so that's great. I had another Otani Bowman, also profited on that one. $9 profit, sold for $26 after fees. A couple more LeBrons, again average sales for PSA 9s, made a few bucks off of them. Really can't complain too much. This one here was a little low, $22. I think it sold for about $25 gross, but hey, what can you do? It's cash in my pocket, can move on from it. This one here is a little low too. I've been sending one of these in every time with my Probstein submissions, and this was the lowest one I've ever gotten, $22 net. One of them, a PSA 9, did like $76 net to me a couple weeks ago. So yeah, a lot of variance with these auctions, but a bigger chance that they'll go low versus high in my experience. Judge PSA 9 with Greg Bird, honestly, very strong sale here. I had this up for $19.99, could not get any watchers or any movement on it, sold for like $23, so we'll take it. Poor sale here though on the all etch PSA 10. I know these aren't crazy, but I sold a couple more for 35 to 40. This one went for just under 20 net. So for PSA 10, that's awful. PSA 8 LeBrons, was hoping for a little bit more on these, but they are 8s, so can't complain too much. 19 and 18. This was a really bad sale. Mason Wynn out of 150. Probably should have held this a little bit longer, but you know, again, it's always the debate between get the cash now or get a little more cash later. This Churio, this is a fine sale. I got this in a big lot. Really no comps on it previously. SGC is tough to move, but made a couple bucks on it. Can't complain there. This Aaron Judge as well, honestly not too bad. 12.33 net, lost a few bucks on it, but it wasn't gradable. I think this one was a little off-centered as well, so may have played a role. PSA 8 here for Judge, got 10 bucks net out of it. That's fine. I mean, it is what it is. A couple of the Prism stuff, Malik Neighbors and Romo Dunze, silvers. Lost money on those, but that's to be expected. Basically lost the shipping fee plus 15% fee or whatever, and prices are kind of dropping on those right now. This one I was really bummed about. These two actually. So the Judge Holiday only got $3 out of, and the Caitlin Clark Bowman University First only got $3 out of as well. So this is kind of an example of just, I don't know, ending at a bad time or just not enough interest. And that's the risk you run with auctions, whether you run the auctions yourself or you consign them. That's just what happens sometimes. You kind of have to take the good with the bad. This order, if I had to say, is below average in my experience with Probstein, but there are usually several cards in, if you send in 20 plus cards, you're probably going to have at least 5 that are underwhelming according to what you're expecting. 91 cents out of this PSA 4, that's fine. That's fine, whatever. But anyway, happy with several of these, some kind of on par with my expectations, and a lot were below expectations. But I'm all for transparency. That's what I want to strive to share with this channel. And yeah, I'm always learning. Probstein is kind of a mixed bag, so are auctions in general. It's not a silver bullet to, you know, avoiding all the work and having quick cash flow at comps. So just good things to keep in mind, but it is useful, and I will continue to go this route with some things. So let's go ahead and jump into the next order. Okay, really quickly, just going to go through each of these cards that I'm about to submit to Probstein and kind of my rationale behind them. So I have some raw football stuff. Want to get this auctioned off as quick as possible, as prices are kind of coming down. Surprise, surprise, more Prism stuff. I find these do better auctioned off via Probstein versus my own eBay. So that's why I am sending them off. Just get rid of them. I'll take some losses on these after fees and everything, but I'm okay with that. Just keep things moving. Finally, I think this is the last Ohtani Bowman rookie. I've been finding that these do better at Probstein versus even letting them sit at buy it now in my store. They'll sell for even more at Probstein auctions. Duplicate slab here. Want to keep it moving. This one's been sitting for a while. I was asking a really high price for it, but it's a good time to auction off baseball. Similar thing here, been sitting around for a while, just want to get it moved. These LeBron rookies I've found are doing really well, auctioning them off in small increments at a time. So I've got one from the box set, one from the Phenomenal Beginning set. Still going through a bunch of these cards.
just been sending one in every order with Probstein, and they've been selling for quite a bit. Usually in the mid 20s to mid 30s range. I had a PSA 9 actually sell for 90 via Probstein, and it was paid for and everything. So sometimes you get those lucky sales. Another duplicate slab, PSA 9, just want to keep it moving, especially as more football stuff comes out. This stuff won't be as desirable, so just want to get what I can from it. And then duplicate Cam Ward here as well. Got a couple more of his cards that I'm holding on to, some bigger ones till closer to the draft, but want to start by auctioning this one off. So if you guys have any questions about any of these cards, or just like kind of my thought process when I consign cards, let me know in the comments, and we'll go ahead and jump into the financials once these are sold.
Okay, here we go with the next order. We'll just go through these one by one once again. So the Phoenix Ohtani rookie netted 136. Honestly, not too bad for a PSA 9. I really didn't know what to expect. Only comp was, I believe, a fake comp for like $300 or something like that from a long time ago. So pretty happy with that. I'm really, really happy with this sale right here. So the Lunar Glow Roman Anthony PSA 10 grossed over 100. The way I imported it ignores the actual gross, and it's the same as the net, so don't worry about that. But netted 89 from it. I had this sitting on my eBay for $79.99. Buy it now for probably like 4 months now, and got like $60 offers and stuff like that, but nothing really that close to my asking price. So very happy to auction that one off and get that price out of it. Honestly, I'm good with this Drake May as well. To lose only $2 on that, just reselling it raw, very, very okay with that. This one was a big time bummer. So Elitist Bo Nix PSA 10. So I kind of threw this in. Honestly, I probably shouldn't have thrown this one in, but I'm getting impatient with a couple of the orders that I'm almost done selling through, the PSA orders, and I want to make videos on them to showcase the profit for you guys. So I'm kind of getting a little impatient, and that definitely shows here. Only $43.61. I actually sold this card for $70, but it went unpaid a week or two ago. So really bummed to see that, because the last comp was an auction that went for like $76 just last week. So yeah, really bummed about it. Still profitable, but it is a PSA 10. Was hoping for a lot more profit in that. Actually made money on this Caleb Orange Disco. Kind of got lucky with this high raw sale. Yeah, a couple of these raw sales. Whenever I am submitting raw cards to Probstein that I've deemed ungradable, I am always okay if I lose money on those. The goal is not to make money on those. The goal is just to get cash and move forward. And I don't send anything to Probstein that's like terribly, terribly damaged. Like if it ever would grade like a 6 or something like that, I'll just hold on to it, or I'll sell it on my own eBay and note the damage in the description. So anyway, I'd recommend you guys do the same. Some LeBrons also in this one. So yeah, pretty average sale here for a PSA 9 LeBron. I had most of these up for $29.99, $34.99. This one sold for about $33, netted 28 out of it. So I'm happy to liquidate that. Yeah, more raw stuff. I'm kind of okay with whatever on this. Did make money on the Mosaic Drake May raw. Another 9. This is a low 9 sale. Would have liked more out of that. And also the Upper Deck SP Authentic PSA 9 was even lower than the last one. So under $20 here, but that's okay. Just want to get through those and move on to the next thing. Very low PSA 9 sale here, so bummed about that. And honestly, this is a pretty low Ohtani sale. The previous Probstein order, one sold for 32, the other sold for like 26. This one only netted 17. And also a very low sale on this Sapphire PSA 9. I got $30 offers on this card on Facebook. I was asking like 40 on it, so that's kind of what recent comps were doing. So I definitely got burned there. So take good offers when you can, I guess. A couple of these are more cards that I got impatient with. wanted to sell through some orders so I could make videos. These two Donruss Elite ones also fall into that category, as well as this Cam Ward PSA 9. So yeah, not great. Was hoping to net at least $20 from each of these. So not great there. Yeah, here we had just another raw card. This was a raw card that was really quite a bummer. This is like a $25 card all day, only netted $7 out of it. Yeah, again, just an instance of a card just kind of not getting a lot of interest, and that's the risk you run with auctions. $5 on the Judge Bird PSA 8, whatever on that one. Would have liked to get 10 to 15, but it is a PSA 8, so that's fine. So yeah, that's two orders with Probstein. I would say both of these are a little bit under average from my experience. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts in the comments below. But just again, to reiterate, it's not a strategy I recommend to do in bulk. The first priority is to sell your stuff fixed price on eBay and social media by yourself. That's first priority. If you have duplicates in dead inventory and need cash flow, that's when I would turn to auctions and consignment auctions. So that's what I'd recommend. Again, it's definitely not a silver bullet for getting great value from your cards. A lot of them sell for 60% comps when you auction them, so, and some go for 100%, some go for over. We had this one here that was an awesome sale. But that's more the exception, and most of them tend to be at comps or under. So that's my experience. I'm going to keep doing these videos as well, just to showcase all my Probstein orders, really. The one that I did right before this that actually inspired me to start doing these was really, really good. So it's kind of like, I don't want to show a skewed view of things. I want to show all of it and really be transparent. These two were kind of under average. Hopefully we'll have some above average ones soon that we can share. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If anyone needs help submitting to consignment, let me know. I can help you get pointed in the right direction. And yeah, please like and subscribe if you find this helpful, and we'll see you guys next time.